Mum's life was worth a lot more than 2 years community service. The heart-wrenching words of Clare Nowland's daughter, Kerry. The 95-year-old great-grandmother died after being tasered by police officer Christian White. After being found guilty of manslaughter, today we learnt he won't spend any time in jail. Our crime editor, Simon Bodett, joins me on the desk. And Simon, you've heard from Christian White this afternoon.
I have, Ali, indeed I have. And through his solicitor, Christian White has given me a statement just a little while ago. He says, "I'm relieved and thankful that I'm not being sent to prison and that this process has come to an end. I know the Nowland family have suffered deep anger and grief, and for that I'll be forever sorry. I just wish I could take it all back. My family and I hope to get on with our lives, but I want you to know that Clare Nowland and her family will always be in our minds."
So, Simon, I spoke to Clare's daughter Kerry about an hour and a half ago, and she was too unwell to go to court today. But she said to me that she didn't want White to go to jail because he has a wife and a young child. But I think that speaks volumes about the type of person she is, but she also said she is heartbroken. She's really disappointed and sad with what the judge came back with today, and said to me that it should have been tougher. Her words were, "Mum's life was worth a lot more than 2 years community service."
Well, Ali, I guess when you look at it, there were 8 children in that family. Clare Nowland had 8 children. Most of them were at court today, and they don't all share the same opinion, obviously. Michael, the eldest son, he gave me a brief statement when he left court this afternoon. What should have happened today, sir? What did the family want to see happen today?
Justice and fairness, that's all we wanted. Justice and fairness, yeah.
So, Simon, can you explain to me why the sentence was so lenient?
Well, Ali, if you look at it this way, you've got jail, you've got an intensive corrections order and a community corrections order. Now, an intensive corrections order is a more severe community-based sentence than a community corrections order. Now, the intensive corrections order involves mandatory supervision and potentially stricter conditions, while the CCO is a less severe option for offences not warranting imprisonment or an ICO. But Ali, an ICO is not available when sentencing for murder or manslaughter. So therefore, the CCO was the only option, plus 425 hours of community service.
So when you explain it that then, I mean, it's sort of, it puts the judge in a position, right? It's effectively, it's jail or what is, I guess you'd call it basically a good behaviour bond.
Well, that's exactly right, because of the legislations that are in place under the Sentencing Act 1999, where he could not impose that intensive corrections order. Now, some people have contacted me today and said, why not, if you didn't go to jail, why not the ICO? And that's basically the explanation. But Justice Harrison was very clear. He said, quote, "Mr. White made what by any measure was a terrible mistake for reasons that may never be clearly understood, if understood at all. He deployed his taser in response to what he perceived to be a threat that, in my view, never called for such a response. His decision as a police officer in the circumstances called for a choice between or among several options of what to do. Mr. White clearly made the wrong choice, Ali."
Yeah, and look, I think this is such a sad case, Simon. We all know that a fall at that age, when you're that frail, that it can have catastrophic consequences. Some family members we saw today not happy with what happened. I guess we wait to see. There's 28 days until we hear if there is an appeal. We wait and see how that plays out, but I think you summed it up there. No winners today. Thanks.
There are no winners.
Thanks, Simon.